Right then, 2 seconds. Let's get this crap set up. Can I find it? Bear with me. I'm literally just tweaking the link. Paste it there. Paste it there. And right. Okay. Yeah. Tell me if you can hear me now, because I've just been pasting the link. Right, 1 sec. Okay, so I have no idea how interesting or boring this video is going to be, but essentially what I'm doing is, if you watched the last video on the North Western Railway, this it's lost its smoothness. So that's the first job, and that's a priority, to get things smooth again. Okay, so I'm going to take the body off, take the chip off, put the blanking plate back in, and take the valve gear off and see if it runs smoother without the valve gear. And if it does, it's because this is a bit bent, because it was a bit bent, and trying to bend it back hasn't been too good. I have a spare set. Could go horribly wrong, I don't know. And that's what we're going to do. So right, let's move the camera. The other things that need to be done as well, you can see it's gone white in handling, so that eventually will need to be touched up. Also, I might be changing the front couplings to dinghams. I'm not decided yet. That needs painting. Just little touch-up jobs. Eventually a smoke generator as well. And I don't know if this stream is going to be half-hour long, 3 hours long. I have absolutely no idea. But lately I've been seriously suffering from a lack of modelling mojo, so I thought, well, if I go live, it'll kind of keep me here, so get the job done, and hopefully we can have a bit of interaction as well. So I'm playing it by ear. So let me open this, and then I'll check the comments periodically, so I can't look at them all the time. There we go. Always have a tray ready. Okay. Right. Quick check of the comments. What we got? Ah, Greenie, how you doing? Good to hear from you. Yeah, with Coventry Model Railway Club, they've just kind of lost interest. No, nothing really bad about it. It's just, you know, I'm like, I pop in there for a few weeks and then I get bored and bugger off again for a year. It's just normal. So, yeah. I need to take this off now. Obviously, we don't chew my nails so much, but right, there we go. Is this model for sale? If you want to spend about £2 grand, yeah, because I really don't want to sell it. So the price is extortionate purely because I don't want to sell it. But £2 will sway me. Like I said at the start of the stream, this could all go tits up. I have no idea, because every time you faff around with things like this, there's always potential for things to go wrong. Put the light on a second. There we go. See what we're doing a bit better. That's what I want. Just gently tap the chip out. There we go. and put it safe. Then we have this drawer, blanking chips and plates and all the rest of it, and we're going to stick that in. Right, let's check the comments again. Yeah, £2 is way too much. It's a piss take, I know, but I don't want to sell it. I've been offered £400 for this model about 3 or 4 times over the years. The answer's no. Right. Let's see if that'll work on here. There's some fresh. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the plate's in. Out of the way. It's a tight spot. Oh dear. Yeah, I was going to take it off anyway, so that's exactly how something's not quite there. Oh dear. Well, we have this tool. Never opened. However, it's a lot easier than use tweezers. Just get this out of the packet and find out which end we need. It's not that one, that's too small, I can tell that by looking at it. Bear with me here. Goodness sake. Right. Too big. Too big. Maybe. Still say it's too big. Too small. Try that one. Yep, that's the one. Right. Little knot. Need to keep that in the little jar. Okay. Same for the other side. Oops. There we got it. There we go. Keep that safe. Should just pop out. There we go. Right. Valve gear's off. We'll put that the old valve gear. A bit of sandpaper out of view. Check the comments 2 seconds. We got DFG. What the fuck's that all about? Hang on. To boy 420, obviously you're being a bit of a, I don't know, insert expletive. Stop it, or I'll just have to be a prick. Right, see if it's going to work. Right, that looks quite smooth. Now, it's a little tight spot still. Yeah, little tight spot still. So fundamentally, it's not the valve gear that's a problem. Although it looks pretty good forward there. Why is it not backwards? This is what we have to find out, you see. There's a little washer. Need to keep that. And on the other side. Would have lost that. 2 seconds. Cheers to Station Pilot, that's appreciated. I do spend quite a lot of time on them. Oops, what's that? So it just fell out. Now bear with me. Cylinders fell out. Just there. I have to find that. Oh, there we go. Got it. That's nothing to worry about. You just glue it in. So okay. Put that to the side. In fact, we could take the this out as well, in case we lose them. That's all that is. Scratch built on brass. Little cylinder drain cocks. We'll get rid of them as well. I literally put them in parallel and bent one pig, so it's just a friction fit. Alright, FD, yes, you're being a tit, so yeah, I'll have to stop you doing shit. There you go. Don't like censorship, but that's just ridiculous. Right. Do we have to take that off? That's what I need to figure out myself. Crankpin nuts. Do we need to take it all off? I mean, I don't think I do. But there's obviously an issue where it still seems pretty smooth forward, but not so much backwards. Bit more juice. Well, it's not bad, but I'm trying to hone things. We're getting perfect. So yeah, I don't know what the problem is, you see. Do I add the same valve gear back and just try and bend it back in shape? Or do I put the new set on? What do you reckon? It's hard to know. It's fiddly as anything. What's that? Right, to the stig about replacing wheels. The reason is, it's not that easy. I'd have to buy new wheels. You have to essentially build most of the chassis yourself. Well, rebuild it. It's just not an easy job to do, to be fair. Did he use varnish on the wheels? Truthfully, I can't remember. I think I might have painted some on. I really don't know. And for the E2, quite a lot of people have used a Bachmann Ginty or Bachmann 1F, and some people use the old Hornby 060 chassis. I've not used either because I make my own chassis most of the time, but people have used them to good effect. This is fiddly. wish there was an easy way I could do this, but there's not. It's an awkward mess. Oh, nearly. Get in there. Oh, near enough. There we go. No, just, yeah. I can try and inspect it and bend it. I wish that I could make this more interesting. But I have to fiddle around and faff about and try and find out how to do things. If you don't know what the problem is, it's not that easy to solve it straight away. Like this here, I don't know if you can see, the slide bar is not parallel. They splay outwards, and that causes some slack. There, look, if it focuses. You know, that's no good, not really. You can get away with it sometimes, but that's also what causes half the problem sometimes. So, bend it back. Then you've got to try and bend it parallel, and it's not always easy. If you look at it, it's a bit ickledy-pickledy. Which is why I'm thinking I'll just replace the valve gear for the time being. I'm going to keep this though. I don't think this is right off by any means. Let's get the new stuff out. This will need modifying because the new stuff I had to modify before. Right, nice new and shiny. This piece has to be taken off, right, where it's riveted on. Right, 2 seconds to check the comments again. Excuse me. Right. Now I'm trying to think back to about a good 10 or so years ago. How did I take this off before? Because it's riveted on. And I'm not sure. And I don't want to knacker it. I think I just clipped it because I need to just clip it off. If I can grip it. Probably not. No. Hang on. Let's see if these will do it. Nope, can't grip it at all. Try it this way. Ah, there we go. Pop the rivet out. Grip. Ah, there we go. There we go. Now I've got a hole. Okay, now that hole will fit on to this little brass bodge job I made. A little bit that sticks out. That's basically what happens. So let's do the same again. Pop. We back. I had a little connection problem then. Right. That's the wrong side. And that needs to go back in. So maybe I need fresh glue. I don't know. The friction would be enough. I don't think I need to glue it. Seems fine. Right, let's do another roll test. try different speeds out, see how it's behaving without. We'll see how we get on. Oh, it's not on properly, it's my fault. See, it still has a little jerky. See, I reckon there's something wrong with the chassis itself, where there's a bit of muck in there and it scrapes every time it turns round. I'm not sure. I keep saying that. See, it's gone stiff, but it's still moving. That's stopped. Tight spot all the time. It's not too bad, it's still fairly smooth. I just want perfection. I mean, it might just need a good thraping. Massive run-in. You know, I don't know. Oh, knobhead's back. Alright, obviously, yeah. I'll just put hide user on the channel, so you shouldn't see anything now, hopefully. Don't understand how that can even be fun, just typing the same thing repeatedly. Fucking boring. Yeah, so I think the actual chassis itself probably has some grit inside or something. I don't really want to take it to bits because I'm not an expert on taking ready to run chassis to bits, just to be frank. Good running might sort it, but it might not. Anyway, I'm going to put the new valve gear on because it does seem a little bit better. Let's see what happens. Now, once you've made this, if you want to make a conversion yourself one day, you see here, I've had to go inside and insulate it, as well as tape wrap around it. And it's literally a bit of brass coming down, soldered to another piece of brass. That's literally all it is. And this hole there just pops onto it, whilst these bits go into there. It's not really complex, it's just a bit of a fiddle. So yeah, I'm going to move the camera. There's no easy way to show this, it's just purely awkward. How many years ago was this model made? Give or take 12, I think it was around 2010, but it could be a bit later or earlier. Fiddly. There we go. Alright, move the eccentric crank. Get the coupling rod. We need that big washer first, don't we? Or do we put it on first? I have no idea. Let's get his tweezers. No, need the washer first. Okay, no problem. Or maybe not. No, I ain't sure. And the coupling rod's bent. This is going well, isn't it? For goodness sake. Not the best start, is it? Right, okay, so you'll have to forgive me for fumbling, but it's all a puzzle. And that little washer, now I'm looking for it again because I can't see it. Ah, that's why, it's stuck in the chassis. Goodness sake. Right, washer. So I don't know how to bloody do it. I forgot. Is it the coupling rod first or the washer first? I would say coupling rod first, put the washer on, not keeps the crank out of the way, maybe that's it. Oh, for goodness sake, now it's popped out. Yep, like I said, can't guarantee this is going to be interesting. It's the only problem with life, you can't edit it, can you? Not easily, anyway. Stay still, no bird. Right, washer. Crank. If we can just get this on, I can position it any place and it'd be okay. But just got to get it on first without losing the screw. Right, do it with my finger first. In. In. I'll check the comments in a minute. I'm not going to do it tight, I'm just going to do it enough to pinch it, because that's obviously not where it needs to be. Right, we have a chance now. Right. One thing I do know, if you have it so the coupling rod's bottom dead centre, the crank should be forward probably about 10 degrees, give or take. So there should be about right, hopefully. That's still a bit bent. Okay, check the comments. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I would rather do it in the factory as well. And that's not what you want, is it? Oh, you know when I said it could all go wrong? Well, look at this. It's definitely all going wrong, hasn't it? Because that moved, I didn't see it, turned it and bent it. Every time you bend it back, it weakens it. So now as I turn it, I need to keep me on the other side to make sure I don't pop out. And it's still a tight spot. Wish I knew what it was. It's okay forward, backwards it's a bit worse, so. Ah, there you go, pinched again. Hi Gabrielle, I'm just trying to basically improve the running of this. I'll swap the valve gear on this side, I'll do the same to the other side in a minute. It's an absolute fiddle, it's boring to watch, can't really help that. But actually getting it all to work nicely isn't that easy. I don't think it helps the fact that the chassis is quite old. I might just need a new base chassis, but that means I've got to faff around and make the brackets for the cylinders and the whole shebang again. I can't really be bothered. I'm just hoping I can repair this one and be done with it. Right, anyway, let's put the valve gear on the other side. I'm going to get the cradle out for this one. Nice little Pico cradle. Excuse me. Right. Exactly the same faff about as you just saw me do. I mean, it looks like it's tight here even. That could be where some of the problem's coming, I don't know. Anyway, that's on. We want the washer. We want the crank. It's popped out again. Yeah. It's an absolute faff. Just stay. Maybe if I bent that back a bit, it'd be a bit less resistance. Because it is springing a bit too much. Just a little bit. That'll do. Too much. Might as well go make a coffee and come back later, so I've got to get this in before I do anything else. It's boring, I know. Right. Alright, let's get this last little epoxy screw. Yeah. Stay still. You know when I made that video a while back saying the perpetual woes of an improving modeler? This is why. I've been modelling for over 24 years and this stuff just gets old quick. It really does. Get back in. Oh, stay. You pop back in there. That's going to be awkward because it keeps popping out now. Well, that bit won't stay in now. I don't know why. It keeps popping off. I think it's the angle of it. Come on. Right, hang on. Stay, doggy. Okay, we'll check the comments in a minute. Just alright, see what that does. Not very good, is it? And it's popped off again. Unfortunately, this is what it's like when you're faffing around, bashing, ready to run stuff. Can't really say anything positive about it because this is just how it is. You faff around and you faff around and you faff around, eventually you get there. I'm going to move it so this is bottom dead centre so I can move that crank again. So, there. It's too far forward. So, if I undo that, there you go, let's move back a bit. Try and hold it. Then tighten it. It might be okay, if we're lucky. Let's try that. It's popped off again. It doesn't want to stay, so I'm going to have to find out another fix. Might just solder the epoxy thing on. Might be the best option. Right, okay, soldering iron's on. Click. There we go. I have to give it 5 minutes. I need to heat that up. What comments we got? What tool did you use to tighten? Okay, it's the nut spanner. There you go. You got different ends on it. Essentially, it's this. Some markets. Cost £19. No, is it £12? I can't read it, it's too faded. Whatever. It costs a fair bit, but I mean, it's good for lots of different things. But when you get the setting, it's good. Oh, thanks, Bickley. So appreciated. Yeah, so I'm gonna when that thing is hot enough, see it flashing, blinking green, when that's hot enough, once that's in position, I'm going to put a little blob of solder on, just lock it in place, just a tap joint, it'd be enough just to hold it, and I can always take it off afterwards if I need to. But clearly at the moment it's not being held in by spring. This angle of this thing's knackered. Can't do much about the angle of the camera, but oh well. Hang on. Should be enough by now. Now I like to use this DCC Concepts Sapphire No Clean Flux. You can use it for steel and you can use it for electrics and it won't rust. Right. But I've run out, you see. I forgot that ran out. Right, excuse me for 5 minutes, I have to go in the loft to get the flux. Can't help it. Chat amongst yourselves for a minute. Oh, I'm back. It didn't take that long. I thought it'd be a bit longer than that. So I'm going to use car speedy solder on this. I don't know how you pronounce it. Lothening, something like that. It's basically a paste. That's all I have at the moment, so a teeny blob on where we need it. More than enough. Right. In fact, that end's a bit dirty. Give it a quick scrape on the spongy thing. Right. Oops. Now what I've done there is got myself into a mischief, because the piece that I made before was made out of a couple of bits of brass and I've just melted it a bit too far and it's moved it. So now I've got to get myself out the poo. Okay. Take that piece off. That piece essentially was put there, the part that goes horizontal, to keep that plate, that bit, from twisting. I might get away with not needing it if I can put this on and solder it at the right angle. But I can't guarantee it. See, it's popped through. It might be too far in. So I'm going to push it out while soldering it. Just there. That's got it. So we're going to try that and see how it performs. I've no idea. Just make sure I put this in first, since it's popped out a little bit. Yeah, it needs bending. No, okay. Desolder. This is unfortunate when it's light, just faff after faff till you get there. But it popped out the cylinder, I didn't see it. So when I soldered it, it was in the wrong place. So we need to bend that a little bit. Try that. That looks to be, at least it looks to be bob on. Can't guarantee it is, but it looks like it is. Right, that's got it. Final check. Okay, it's a maybe. Here we go. Tight bit. Oop, oop, stop. Right, I saw something that went wrong. I think I might have done this wrong. I don't know. I'm going to check my first Gordon, see how they've done it. It's in the cabinet above me. Because that will tell me if I put the wash in the right place or not. Right. Mark 1 Gordon. How do they do it? Yes, I've made a cock up. Can you spot the difference? No, I've not made a cock. Hang on, have I or not? Yes, I have. The coupling rod's supposed to be on the outside of the washer, not the inside of the washer. So you look at the top one, it's wrong. Okay. So the washer goes on before anything else. Okie dokie. See how much of a faff this is. I'll check the comments again for a sec. Focus, there we go. I broke the Hornby Henry twice doing this. I empathise. It's not easy. Did you build this desk? Sorry. Did you build this work desk you use? I want to make one out of an office space in the basement. Not sure where to start. Well, it's just a desk. To pull out a bit and show you. It's literally a desk. I've got my guitar amp here, chest of drawers there, and then you got just 2 shelves. That's essentially all it is. Nothing fancy. Just loads of little trays, you know, that's all it is. Any desk will do. Right. I think you have the most Railway Series accurate models there, and I love the look of them. Thanks, that's what I've been trying to do all these years. Been trying to, essentially what started me off doing these Railway Series models, apart from me obviously liking the Railway Series, I got sick to the back teeth of Hornby, and Backman half-assing things. It's like they make several £million, dollars turnover, whatever, and they still can't get an accurate Railway Series model. And to me, when I'm just knobhead in a bedroom, I think that's wrong. You know, they're more than capable, but they choose not to. So unfortunately, it forces us to do it ourselves. Right, okay, so coupling rod, then the eccentric crank. Oops, stay. Oh. Stay still, there we go. Okay, that's that one corrected. Same again for the other side. Take the nut out. Oops, don't lose it for goodness sake. Take the washer off. Put the washer back on, but with the rods on the outside of it. Alright, I might have to tighten them a bit more, move them, don't know yet. But again, let's see how we get on. Oh, it caught, I can see it. Right, that is bending out. It's catching here. If it can focus. See it? It's catching right there. So that needs sorting out and bending. And this ain't particularly good when you have to bend your valve gear either, but what do you do? None of it's precisely lined up. A lot of trial and error. Try that. It's catching again. Just tighten it a bit. That's also the problem, it's too slack as well. Right, bear with me a second again. Right. Stay doggy. Okay, let's give that a go, and I'll check the comments once more. Don't seem bad. I'm inspecting it from above as I do it now. Yeah, that crank is still catching. This crank here is still catching. It's that floppy, I can't really do much about it. The thing I do is probably bend it. Then I'll go try not to bugger it. So wish me luck, because it could go wrong again. It's gone wrong again. Oh, for goodness sake. Right. So that little rivet thing's popped out. I've got no way of putting that back in. Unless I solder it from the back. Take that off for once more. I've got to desolder that. Like I said, it could all go tits up at any time. Obviously that's what's happening. Right. This now has come off. I don't know if I can fix it on. Might be able to. Let me just check the comments, I'll get back to that. Most fiddly model I've done. Probably this one. Or Fury, because all little bits out to make. Okay, fair enough on all the comments. I've got nothing to actually say about them. Not at the moment. Yeah, this is awkward because, like I said, there's a little rivet there. It's hard to show you. It's popped out because obviously I tried to bend it, and I need to now pop it back in and then secure it. Ultra fiddly. If I can't do it, it means I've got to buy some more valve gear. I can probably make my own pin for it, to be fair, but that's quite long-winded. I might have to do it, because if this doesn't go in, there's not much I can do. And it looks like I'm going to have to make my own pin, so I'm going to have to make my own pin. Brilliant! It's getting better, this, isn't it? No, it's going crap. Right, okay. Forced to make my own pin. So we're going to use some rod for that. What we're going to use? What sizes do we have? I've got lots of different sizes. This is 0.9mm NS for nickel silver. I always label my rods and I buy these tubes to store them in. That might be too big, I don't know, but it's simply just pop it through the hole, and if it goes through, you've good to go, essentially. So does it go through? No, it's too big, so we go to a smaller size. Lots of trial and error and faffing about. Do we have a 0.7? Yes, we do. Okay, 0.7 nickel silver rod. Let's give that a go. Will that go through? Yes, and that's a perfect working clearance, so it's 0.7 mil we need, clearly. This should, in theory then, be the same. Which it is. Okay, we found it, so there we go. Alright, so when you make your own pins, I'm not an expert at it, but I have done it before. It helps if you file things a little bit to get a key so things can grip it a bit better. Both sides. It also takes a protective coating off, so it's easy to solder, but that would be sufficient. Right, that'll do. See how the colour's changed? Do that first. I'm going to bend this first now because I wanted to bend it obviously before to stop it catching, and that's what caused a little damage. So, which way was it? It was that way. I needed that to go outwards. So, bend it there, just a little bit. I'm going to bend it there a little bit. I'm hoping that's sufficient, I don't know. Like I said, it's all a bit of a faff. But we'll see. So that's going to go like that. First of all, make this smaller. Give yourself about an inch. So you're going to have to grab it with then. God, this is nerve-wracking, isn't it? It sure is. Like I said right at the start of the stream, there's a good chance it go tits up, and you saw me make a lot of mistakes if you watch the whole thing. It's always like that. When you're bashing things, it's always a bit nerve-wracking because obviously you damage it, then it's like, well, can I repair it? And yeah, you get yourself into these bothers. Hopefully, I can get myself out of bother live. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to solder this to the back of that. Again, holding it's one thing. So we need 10 pairs of hands. Right, a little bit of solder on the back of this. There. Get the massive 1-inch pin. Through you go. In fact, it'd be easier if I put this in the vise because I need an extra pair of hands. I don't have it. Right, okay. Now I'm going to use my hands because it's not going to get hot enough to burn me yet. And essentially I'm going to solder to the back of it as parallel as I possibly can. see that's got it now, look. Okay, soldered on. The excess I'm going to clip off like that, and then file the back of it so it's smooth. And obviously it wasn't a good enough join because it popped out. Right, okay, fine, that does happen. So just give it another go. Not the end of the world as long as we get it to stick. So what I'm going to do this time then, seeing that was a bad join, I've used more flux and I'm going to use more solder. I'm going to hold it there longer. This can bend the metal sometimes if you get too hot. Right. Just popped out again. Right, let's hope that's got it. Okay, still no guarantee it's got a good join, but let's have a look. In fact, considering where this goes, I probably don't even need to clip that and smooth it because there's plenty of room behind, so I might just leave that. And I'm going to keep the pin popping through. So you see we've got the giant pin. I'm going to move the camera because it's crap. Okay, we've got the giant pin going through it. Thread that on. Now look. So that's semi-repaired. We've got to then trim the excess off and provide a way for that to not fall off. And the way that's not going to fall off, I'm just thinking best course of action because I don't have a little baby washer, but you can make what's called a paper washer, which I'll do now. So with the paper washer, you got the join, right? And just pop a hole in it. Ah, goodness sake. I'm going the wood in. Right, you got a hole. Okay. That's on. Pop that across there. Thread it on. Now what you normally do is retain it with, like I said, a little washer. I don't think I got one, but I'm going to do the solder bodge, which is essentially use a teeny bit of solder as a washer, because that's all it really needs. It needs the smallest thing possible just to hold it. How do I hold this? Let me think a second. A bunch of magnets is a weight. No, that's no good. That might be okay. Right. Bit of flux. Teeny weeny bit of flux. Oop, that's too much. Get off. What the paper washer does, it stops the solder running all the way through. What it should do. If I gum it up, you know I've done it wrong. Right, we've got a teeny bit of solder on the end. I'm going to pin it, hey, stay still. I'm going to hold it down with that. Try and just tack it. Now again, don't know if that's got it yet, so hang on. Well, it still moves, which is good. So pull the paper washer off. What might be is cut it off in this case. The question is, has that held it or not? So we're going to try and slide it off. You see it's not coming off. Right, it's messy, it's not brilliant. Let's cut off the excess. Is that adequate? It's not coming off any. Essentially, I've done it, thankfully. Okay, so we repaired it. Right, faff. Okay, now we can put the thing back on and hopefully go to the stage I was at before I cocked it up. I don't know how reliable that joint's going to be. We'll soon find out. Right, quick check of comments again. Where were we? Where are we? Last comment I can see says, man, this stream is going on for an hour. It seems like it only started 5 minutes ago. Yep, pretty much. Okay. Please don't cock it up this time, Gav. It is nerve-wracking, you're right. Very much so. Right. Thread it through. Okay, before we do that, there's about 0.5 millimetre bend on that bloody pin. About there. Stay. Right. So I'll solder this thing back on again. Ah. Oh my God, I can see some comments on my phone camera, but not on the actual PC screen, so it's not caught up. It's where. Hang on. Lost progress, definitely. Being hard by hobby sounds fun. I don't know. I'm not a master. I'm handy. I've got skills, obviously, but I wouldn't say I'm a master at all of them yet. That is way too much flux. It's just bubbling up. That's not what you want. Teeny bit of soda. I don't want to do this too long because that other joint I just repaired is going to come up if I hold it too long, and it's going to fall off. Oh, for goodness sake. I'll give in! This is a pain in the ass. Really is. Okay. I have to tack join it where you just touch it for like 2 seconds. Alright, because it got too hot, the pin basically shifted and slipped through, and then it fell off. This is the other problem you have when you're soldering stuff close to something else you soldered. Trying to keep one together and the other one not together. This is probably where you'll get bored and go home and just don't bother watching. I wouldn't blame you if you do. Alright, I'm going to make another pin because I have no choice. So maybe then when I fix it to it, I might just glue the bloody thing. But then you've got the same problem if you want to take it to bits, it's awkward. But I think I'll have to do that. So make another pin and then glue the thing on, because there's too much heat in one place, it won't stay. There you go, it's popped in. Apologies if this is boring you. It's certainly boring me. I have a question for you, for those in the chat that want to get into the model building world but are unsure what to do and where to start. What advice would you give? I'll buy a set of files, craft knife, some polystyrene cement, and a wagon kit to start with. Let's just start with that. You want to keep watching to learn. Fair enough. Well, the thing is, I'm not really teaching you the best way of doing this. I'm kind of showing you how not to do it, because obviously I'm making the mistakes for the world to see. But being the kind of guy I am, I don't try and hide that shit either, because obviously if I make a mistake, indeed you can learn from it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know the best way to go about this. This is what I've done before in the past. I'm doing it again, basically. It's like 10 years ago. That blob in the front looks horrible. I think I'm just going to file it rather than melt it, because I'll probably knock the pin off again. Right, hang on. I need to put that pin through a bit further, so 2 seconds. Bear with me. Again. Ah. I've got to put the pin in once more. This is being very awkward. And it's not any fun at all. Right. Just getting rid of that big solder blob. It's horrible. Right, that'll do. Excuse me. Right, wish me luck. I've got to do that faffing around again with the paper washer. Say modelling is supposed to be fun. Well, it used to be. Right. Now, clearly I'm not thinking what I'm doing, because that paper was supposed to be on after that. So obviously I think I'm just getting a bit wound up. Bear with me. We'll get there eventually. Now the paper washer. Okay, same as before. Teens bit of flux and solder, just to lock it in place. But then obviously I will be gluing the thing onto the other piece, not soldering it because it'll fall off again otherwise. Can it still move? Yes. Is it enough solder to hold it? Don't know. We'll find out. Doesn't seem to want to come off. So I think we're there again. Okay. Let's check the comments again. To be fair, I found that you were never done with a model. There's always something to fix, something breaks, something needs a repaint. I just flicked it. Where was the rest? Oh yeah, or you need, or you just want to do it over. Yeah, that's very, very true. How much money does this cost to make? Well, I'll say this costs more than it has to cost. I mean, you can use a Hornby Railroad chassis. If you use at least the 3D printed body shells that I've been doing, you have to file quite a bit of weight either here or on the body. This is a Super DHL chassis, which costs quite a bit these days. This is a brass kit. I think in total with the wheels and everything about 50 quid's worth. I also bought an airbrush to paint it because it's one of the first engines airbrushed. So if you add it all together, oh yeah, and the valve gear and the cylinders, they cost a bit and all. So I don't actually know how much it costs, but you're looking at around about 200 or 300, give or take. It doesn't have to cost that much. That's just the options I chose. Shade of blue. This is Americana True Blue, which is like an artist acrylic. Although for the latest blues, I've been using Phoenix Precision Network Southeast Blue with the gloss varnish. Some people don't like giving the paint away. I don't care, so I don't mind telling you. Right, let's have another go. Washer, on you go. Get in the holes, please. Right, just bear with me because I'm going to go and get my super glue. Okay. We have super glue. Is this fans? Okay. I'm going to put a little blob on there. Not directly on it. I'll put a bit on a bit of wire first. Right. That's the smallest amount. I don't know whether it's going to hold, but I need to give it for some minutes just to set. In the meantime, we have this. Raspberry leaves. Raspberry. And water. Very nice actually. I'm going to show you the best setup in the world. So that's what's holding the camera. A selfie stick which is bodged very badly onto a lamp. And it's sagging. So it was there and now it's... So in you go. That's how I do it. It's pretty crude. But yeah, there you go. Let's have a sweet. Nom nom. I can't do much about the camera angle because it's sagging. Pardon me. I'm gonna have to change position, don't know yet. This might fall to bits. Again, don't know. Oop. I'm lifting it gently. Yeah, it's not brilliant, but it's close to where it was. Alright. So another go. We've still got the tight spot. I think that's part of the chassis because we did try it without valve gear and it still had a tight spot. I'm not sure what's causing it, like I said, so it's still a bit shit, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's okay at that speed, mostly, but it leaves a lot to be desired. Right, let's change points. Right, okay, so it's not it's poor backwards, like I say. It's got that little jerk. When you get to a certain speed, it goes through it with smoothness. So that's okay as it is now. I can live with that. Again, it seems to be pretty smooth forward. But whether it's better or not, I don't know. So this is a new valve gear with all the faffing and breakages, faffer belts. Again, it might not be reliable, it might fall to bits, but at the moment, it's okay. So I'm reluctant to touching it at the moment. I think after good running, it might possibly sort it out. I can't promise that. I don't know. But in terms of improving the running, I ain't touching it anymore, so we're going to move on to something else, I think. I'll keep the soldering iron on in case it does break. Right, let's check comments. Huzzah! Ta-da! Yep. What do you think about Hornby not making the Thomas models anymore, even though your 3D printed models are better and more accurate? Appreciated. I think it's a shame, to be honest, because I started off the same as most of us did with a Hornby train set, basically. I had the Hornby Gordon, no surprise. And I remember playing with the Hornby Gordon since the age of 4 in the loft with a 6 foot times 4 foot board, or 2 boards. I think it was loft boards, I ain't really sure. Lying on my belly, just playing it. I had loads of fun with that. And that's what started me off. And the fact that Hornby now have decided they ain't doing it, it's a crying shame, to be fair. I think part of that is a mixture of our collective culture changing, PlayStations, different interests, things like that. And I think part of it is also because Hornby half-assed a lot of stuff, and people picked up on it, even as kids. Because even as young kids, some of us noticed these things. That I think people in the Hornby office would have the attitude of, the kids won't notice or mind. Well, some don't know, but some do. And I think that's part of what it is as well. I don't know, it's just opinions. It'd be nice if they brought the range back with improvements. Because I did try and do that Thomas Tank relaunch, and it was quite disappointing, to be fair. Okay, they put mechanisms in the locos, that's a good stage. They said, they're going to paint the running plates grey, and they didn't really paint all the running plate grey, they painted the front of the running plate grey, and again, it's half-assing. It's disappointing, essentially. Diecast. I want to do my things in metal. Believe me, I want to make my SSC stuff in metal, but I'm not in a position to yet. Don't know how to. You know, I mean, there's the odd one. There's 2 available in shapeways in metal, but you have to pay through your nose just to get them, and they're a bit thick in areas. So yeah, I don't know how to do that yet. Right, next job then. Next job. Well, one, I'm going to paint the valve gear. Once I'm happy it's working properly, you see, even though it's silvery, it's either silvery-ish like it is now, or it's chemically blackened, right? And modern ready-to-run engines, I don't like the chemical blackened because half the time you can't even see the rods. I prefer them to be silver with a little teeny bit weathering. So they are going to be painted. Same as this rod here. I don't know the name of it. I'm going to just paint it silver so it sticks out a bit more. Like I said, I might give it a different coupling, but I'm still fiddling around with dinghams trying to find out whether I want hooks at the front or dinghams or what, because I haven't decided yet. That needs painting black because it's still brass coloured. Never actually got round to doing it, so I might as well do that in a minute. The tender needs some touch-ups, like you got here. There's a bit of brass poking through again where it's chipped, and just little tweaks really. But the actual wheels are gone white, so they definitely need a touch-up. It's Collis, by the way. Is this David Collis by any chance? If it is, hello. If it's not, who is it? Don't know. Oh, shit. Should get the paints. There we go. Americana True Blue. That's the blue for this, apart from the fact that you varnish it after. There's a good shake, I think. Ah, it is Collis. We'll have to meet up and have a drink, mate. It's been too long. Seriously. It's been friggin' ages. Right. Right, bear with me because I now need to get my paint, the other paints that is, and some acrylic thinners. So I'll be a couple of minutes. Okay, we're back. There's the thinners, black paint and brushes. Right, see how this turns out. It's not really the paint to use because acrylic's one thing, but using an artist acrylic is not the same as a model acrylic. I tend to just get by with whatever colour I like. Ever heard of Mantua trains? Nope. With the motor being where it is compared to the wheels, this is it's not one I built myself. It's just kind of how I brought it. I know what you're saying though. And thing is, when I pick this up, I tend to pick it up where these wheels are, which is why it's all falling off. But we are just tweaking, we're not exactly doing anything major. Right, hang on. Right. It's already a lot better, isn't it? I'll check the comments again in a minute. Again, not perfect, but it's a lot better. Right. 2 seconds. Yeah, me and Collins used to be old mates. Well, we still are, but we just lost touch, basically. I haven't gone out drinking for a long time, and we used to go in groups, and it just kind of fizzled out, you know, just life. But hopefully, yeah, we can have a catch up, that'd be good. Now, I didn't design this engine myself. This is what you call ready to run. You basically go to the shop, you buy an engine, and you plonk it and it runs. But I have modified it heavily because these cylinders are completely different to what it had, and all these rods of valve gear is also different to what it had. And then when you look at the actual locomotive body, From about here forward, I scratch built the curves. All that's scratch built. So it's more of a modification basically. When you mean strapping, I'm assuming you mean the border bands. I'm guessing, I don't know, or maybe the lining here. This is HMRS press fix that I use them as water slide transfers. Okay, and the actual bands here, and these ones, it's all basically hand painted. And the number 4 initially was a sticker, but since it's been a decal that I made myself, which is not perfect, which is why you can see a bit of blue, like a light outline, but you know, I can live with it. Alright, that's the blue touch-up's done. I'm going to go down to the black. I ain't doing much with this. Literally the lamp iron at the top. That's some colour. That'll do. Not really sure what else that needs. Yep, that'll do for that one. Oh, this needs a bit here. You could probably do this with a Sharpie pen, I don't know. I mean, these wheels need painting again as well. So, might get the blue back out. Am I doing a Thomas Flying Scotsman? No, not really. I just prefer the real thing, to be honest. No, I've not always been a loft lout. I don't spend much time in the loft, to be fair. I mean, I don't actually do much modelling these days. I've kind of, you know, about 10 years ago, yes, I used to model all the time, but then I've been modelling for about 24 years. I've kind of mostly had enough. I like it occasionally, but as the day-to-day thing, no, I really don't get much from it these days. I just find it annoying. You know, it's like, oh, look, I've got to do this again. It's always faffing around. I like to go to the gym, but since the lockdown shite, I've not been. So I'm looking forward to going back there. It's nothing like starting your day with a good set of weights. Feel better later. Boned me. Okay. I was turning autocorrect off. Right. Let's give it another little run test. Now it's had time to sit there. Now there's a bit of paint on it even. So I know it's going to be a bit jerky backwards, we've already established that. Let's just see how it behaves. Not too shabby. Come on. Let's try a bit of oil, because it hasn't been oiled for a while either. I recommend everybody get one of these if you haven't already. Makes life 10 times easier. It still lasts absolutely ages. About £5, but you might think, oh, that's expensive. Not really. Lasts ages. And you can put it on exactly where you want it. So this valve gear's never been oiled. Let's oil it. Same for the axle. I mean, this is sometimes what causes a problem. You get oil in the model, and over time dust sticks to the oil, and then you get a nice paste that's more like a brake than a lubricant. So sometimes it helps to strip the model entirely, get everything out, soak it in a teeny bit of thinners if necessary, and start again, but I'm trying to avoid doing that. Okay, let's try that. I'll do it fast first, rub it in a little bit. Don't seem too bad. So that rear stickiness is not great, but oh. Forward's a lot better. But I think it just needs a good running now, and that will tell if it's fixed or not. Right, check comments. I've always been a modeller, yeah, but I mean, I don't spend much time in the actual loft itself, that's what I mean. Gym is pub. Kind of, yeah. I just got sick of going out. It was the same all the time. Same shitty music, same places, same people, same fucking drinks. It just gets fucking boring after a while. Plus it's more expensive. You can just buy the drinks yourself. It's a lot cheaper. Right, let's put the body back on, see how it is. This is awkward to film this. It's only putting a screw in, it's not interesting anyway. There we go. Stay. the parts back in. And sometimes putting the body on will actually make it run shit again, because there might be too much pressure on a particular joint that you don't know about. So it's always worth testing them with and without. Seems about the same, to be fair. Got a tender on it. There's no pickups on the tender. Okay, I'm going to say this. Apart from the stickiness when it's going backwards, that you've seen enough times, I've mentioned it enough times, apart from that, it does seem to be more smooth without the jerks. It seems to be jerking less. And it looks more like a nice, clean, smooth motion, which is what I was after in the first place. Well, I had it in the first place until it somehow broke. But yeah, that seems better to me. So I'm quite happy with that. So now I'm going to paint the valve gear silver. Now we know that it seems pretty good, at least. Yeah, happy with that. Need to get this thing stuck. It keeps moving. Right. Dry carbon grease. I've not tried it. I've heard good things about it. It's definitely worth a go. I've not tried it. Is that the same as graphite grease? I'm guessing it is. Did you fix Henry because he was making that strange sounding last video? No, that's just a tender. That's basically how Hornby made it. I don't know why. There's just some friction where it shouldn't be, and it makes that squeak. I'm just going to leave it, to be honest. It runs smoothly, and so that's the main point. All right, silver paint. This is one I'm going to use. Metal 191. No, it's not going to work. See, it needs a good mix. It's just oil. It's pretty shite. Yeah, use that. Sorry. The drive bar to the rear, drive bar to the rear wheel. I'm assuming you mean this one. Hang on. This rod here, that joins there. If that's what you mean, which is the coupling rod, sorry, the connecting rod, you can't do it, essentially. That's how it's designed. If you move it to the rear, it'll be something completely different. Yeah, I think Hornby makes some stupid decisions too. So like I said, way back in the 80s when they first made the Thomas range, why didn't they do things properly and accurately? Why did they just keep half-assing? I mean, they made some things, they modified some things, but they didn't go far enough. So like I said, if you look at the TV series of Thomas, it's very, very babyish, especially today. You look at the one of the 80s, it was semi-realistic. The models were still technically wrong. They weren't based on what they're supposed to be. But, you know, I just think with such a big company, where they have millions of pounds or dollars or whatever turnover every year, they can do better. That's why I started doing this in the first place. Right, I'm going to get the fine brush out for this one, or fine-ish. It's, what is it? I don't know, 3/4/0. No idea what that means, I'll just look at the brush end and buy what looks good. Okay. Let's see how this goes. It looked too grey at first, it always does. It always looks a bit too grey when you first paint this stuff on. But it's okay, because you can tone it down later with a bit of black or a bit of grease colour, brown or something. But it just picks it out. It looks to me 1,000 times better than the factory finish. And the problem is I've oiled it now. You don't really want to mix the oil if you can help it. It's not ideal. I don't know if you can see that piece I've been faffing with the whole night. It's a long way away from the bracket and it doesn't look good, right? But again, the fact that it's working at the moment, I don't really want to touch it. I'm going to rotate the wheels slightly so it gets to the points. So hang on. If you look how grey silver that looks and compare it to the opposite side, completely different now, isn't it? Let's rotate that once more. Check the comments. Does anybody know what size Hornby uses for these handrail knobs? Truthfully, I don't know. Where are we? What is my favourite locomotive? In real life, probably the Fury. Yeah, probably Fury. 6399. What we got? About the coupling rod thing, like I says, hang on, that's a coupling rod, that's a connecting rod. Like I said, it has to go here, really. I mean, on real locomotives, you can have it on either wheel, but obviously, if I put that there, I'd have to make a longer rod, and it'd be a different engine entirely. About polishing the rods, you could polish the rods. I just don't think they have enough silver to begin with. So I find if you paint it silver, let it dry, and then go over it with like I said, a greasy, dirty colour, it tends to, in my opinion at least, look a bit more convincing. So that might do it for now. In fact, yeah, there is something else needs to do. If you look here, there's some steps, right? On the other side, they broke, and I lost them ages ago. I don't know where they went, so they need making. Now, I've got a couple of options. I could scratch build it, which is what I'll probably do now, in a brass or nickel silver rod, or I could probably 3D print it, but then it'd be in resin, so it's a bit brittle. So I think, considering it's just a bit of fine wire, scratch build it might be the best option on this one. Right, I'm going to go and wash my hands, because that silver paint can easily get onto that body. So give me a second. Right, I'm back. I didn't paint the rods initially, I'm just painting it on this one. If you remember a while back on the Twitter, I painted the rods on the Henry, and I thought they looked a lot better. And I also painted them on the other version of Gordon that I sold to, what's his name? Express Rhubarb. And again, I think they look better with painted rods. Once that's dried, it might have another coat of silver, don't know yet. Right. think generally it's going forward. Right, so I need to scratch build this thingy gummy. First thing then, measure the other one. If I can find a ruler, that is. Right, okay. I don't know where the proper ruler is, so I'm going to use this scale ruler instead. Now, it's a bit awkward to do this. So we want approximately 10mm by about 11. You can tell by look, it's about 3 wide ish, about, kind of. Let's go to my stash of wire. Right. 0.45 nickel silver rod. I use this for almost everything because this is basically the same wire you use for your handrails. Okay. Look at the shit tip of the desk. Doesn't take long, does it? Gets wrecked real quick. So 10mm long-ish, approximately. You want to bend it about there. Excuse me. You want about 3, which would be, pretty sure that would be good enough. About there. You want it to be a bit longer. Although I'll probably fold it across because it needs something to glue onto. That ought to do it. I also have to put a piece in between as well. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. It's about there. We'll go with it. I'm going to solder that. Okay. Now I want to put the middle piece in. It looks about halfway on the other one. So what I'll do, I'll cut a piece off as an estimate. See how that goes. This could be a bit fiddly. Yep, looks fiddly to me. It's just twisted. Bugger. Stop twisting. Right. Okay, that's got it, both sides. Yeah, I can hold it without burning myself. So now I've got that. Bit messy, I'm going to file it now. So that's a bit, that middle post needs a bit of a tweak, I think. It's actually bent. Yeah, one sec. Do this off camera, hang on. Just give me 2 secs. Alright, we're going to go with that. It's not perfect, but I'll be here all day otherwise. I'm just going to file it, give it a bit more of an angular look to it, because it is actually a circular rod. If you obviously filed it, it won't be circular, will it? Well, I've just broke the joint. Goodness sake. Bigger piece of solder then. Not a problem. Okay. I'm going to get my baby files out. Could do the buy a new pack really, because I'm kind of running out. They're just basically small files, but they're very good for little fiddly things like this. I'm going to read the comments a second. Well, where are we? Have I a model of Edward? Alright, I have and I haven't. In other words, it's not finished. Let me show you all something. I've had a half-done model of Edward, or two for that matter, for probably 2 or 3 years. Right? These are both Shapeways footprints. I've just not got around to doing the shafts and the tenders yet. Right. Furnace Railway K2 locomotive. Bring the thing a bit closer. Almost finished painting it. There we go. Right. And this is an early version because the backhead is different. I've since improved that backhead, or corrected it rather. You know, the controls and stuff. But I've had this in this state for absolutely ages. I just haven't done the rest of it yet. And then there's another one, which is the hang on, got it interlocked. The Freelance variant V4. Yeah, it's been in this state for probably 2 or 3 years as well. Same thing, right? So it's sparking on the smoke box door, that literally brushes off. I don't know what it is. It's a strange, peculiar phenomenon with this particular material. It just literally goes through the paint and then it rubs off. So it's not really a problem. It's just a bit odd. And all that lining on the cab side and the splasher, I've done that with a paintbrush and with a bow pen. So that's pretty good, I think. But yeah, I need to get them finished. I really do. I've been in this state for too long now. Let's check the rest of the comments, then I'm going to crack on again. Okay, well, what have I missed? Hang on. I like the classic series, but I think it would have been better if they made the models look more like how they would have looked in real life. I couldn't agree more. That's always been my biggest gripe. And of course, the prototypes. Least favourite steam locomotive? I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm very biased. I'll prefer British locos, if that means anything. What have we got? I see the Mad Rockers left. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll meet up and have a beer. Hopefully, that'll be good. What we got then? I'm really enjoying this stream. I'm pleased I had nothing planned. I'm glad that you've entertained. That's nice to know. I'm curious when you're not using your faces for the engines, where do you put them? I'll show you in a minute. Thoughts on Edward being an RD41? No, it's based on either Furnace 21 class, which is basically the same as a K2, or it was most likely based on that one, depending which source material you read. Alright, Alex, have a good day. Briefcase, not quite a briefcase. I'll show you. I'll keep them in a fishing box. Well, swim feeder box. Yep. You see, half of you've seen these before, I'm sure. There is a post on Twitter if you want to have a good closer look at these. But yeah, this is where I basically keep them. These are the ones I used in the old Troz series. No. And the moulds are just these ones latex. And I have done some other faces since, but I've not finished them all yet. Right. Okay, let's get back to this. Again, I really don't know how watching me file like teeny farty bits of 0.45mm brass is entertaining. I don't know. But if you enjoy it, I suppose that's good. So you got, if you look, if it's going to focus on this, I put more solder on because it kept breaking. So you got a solder lump here, but I still need to square that off so it doesn't look shite. So I'm using this triangular. I could do the square one really, but I think I broke it. It's just little and often. Do a little bit, check it. Do a little bit, check it. It's not hard. Just takes time. Also, let me know if you think I should do these sort of streams more often, because I'll be perfectly honest with you. If you have watched that video called The Perpetual Woes of an Improving Modeler, you'll know that I find modelling boring a lot of the time because I've kind of, you know, I don't know, I don't enjoy it like I used to. Occasionally I do. When I'm on White House Films Modeller's Corner, and like when I'm doing this, and when I've been, I don't even know how long I've been doing this now, but normally when I'm modelling, I can't really do much more in about half hour to an hour because I lose my head. At least when I know I've got people watching and interacting, it kind of keeps me here a bit longer. So it sort of helps me in that sense. And if I should do this more often, if you are going to genuinely benefit from it or find it interesting, I might actually bother doing it more. I think you should. Fair enough. I mean, the last time I made a video on the Ramby was 7 months ago. Right? I mean, I have made progress on it. I just haven't done enough yet to warrant a video in my mind, at least. What I have done to Ramby, I've done the good shed, mostly finished it. I've put some fences on the platforms and across the grassy bank, and that's literally about it. Oh, I've done a signal as well, a ratio signal kit. I've done that too. That's about it for the Ramby. And for the North Western Railway in the loft, since the last video, I've been faffing around with some curves, made some couplings for some wagons, and that's again about it. I'm also busy doing 3D printing, designing, and that sort of stuff as well, as you know. So I'm kind of stretched thin between everything I do, and I get burned out often, so a lot of the time I just don't want to do anything. I just want to sit there, drink a tea, read or watch something, be a couch potato. And also naffed off as well because the gym's shut. I was enjoying myself there. That doesn't particularly help. Right, here we are. Not too shabby. Again, not perfect. Could do with being a bit more angular, so I'm going to just do it a little bit more. But it's not bad. I don't think it is. Just wanted to get rid of that circular look to it. Bend. Yeah. I'll check the comments again. Ah, Ash, nice to see you here. Yeah, I hope you like it. What are your thoughts on Miss Olive and Blossom? I used to watch her videos. I used to find them quite funny. The overly expressive facial animations. You know, it was a bit like watching Dragon Ball Z. Just you know, a bit crazy. I used to enjoy it. What did I do with my old models? They're in a box, basically. I was going to sell them. I basically wanted to rework them and sell them, and I might still do that, but I put them in a box and never got round to it. So that's where the Hornby ones are. Now this needs to be at a slight angle, really. Get rid of these cylinder drain cocks. Okay. I'm going to try and bend this. I might end up cocking it up. Just a teeny bit. Just a teeny bit. And a bit of a file. Let's put a slight angle on it. Oops. See, I've just cocked it slightly. I might go with bending it. Solder dab. I don't want to ruin all that work. Try and rescue it quick. Right. Okay. So I'm going to file that bit flat. I'm going to glue it on. Okay, there goes nothing. Glue time. I would have the camera higher, but because it keeps sagging, I can't do much about it, so it keeps getting lower. Nearly. Right, that's the glue on. Now I've got to hold it. Could do with it sticking in a bit more, to be fair. Okay, plan B. Rub the glue off. I'm going to file into the body a little bit because it's sitting too far away. I don't like it. So I can see where the join line is. I'll chew into it a bit. Two secs. Don't worry, you can always watch the stream again. It should be recorded. Shouldn't be a problem. Still not sitting how I want it though. I'm tempted. I'm tell you what, I'm going to do something ultra dangerous. So only do this if you feel competent, because you could wreck everything. I could wreck it right now. But I have the balls. I'm going to melt it. That's it. I'm going to freaking melt it. Melting in a gap. Right, that'll do. I'll scrape off that little bit. And that little middle bit slipped again, so again I need to just give it a teeniest little touch with the heat. I do. Right, that's a little bit better. It's not loads better, but it's just that little bit more. So I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to tweak it too much more, because obviously when you're faffing around with that, melting it in and scraping, you can bugger it up quite easily. So even though it might not sit perfect, I'm just going to accept it, because I don't want to knack this model up. It means a lot to me. Again, if you want to buy it, it's £2,000 because I don't want to sell it. Right. Please stick. Can't stand here all day. Or sit, rather. I'll get the cradle out and sit in the cradle. I can add some glue to the back of it just to reinforce it, if I can find the little glue bit I had. going to cheat and just use a big massive piece of nickel silver. Just need to get in there. Oh no, I found it. I found it. There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that exactly where it is for a few minutes. Give it a chance to fully dry. And then we shall paint it black. Now looking at it, it's considerably wider than the plastic one, but again, I'm just going to live with it because you're only going to see one side at once for the most part anyway. Right, let's review those comments. Wild Guns buffer's crooked. Well, because they rotate. Okay. What could I do in the meantime? We've only talking like a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure it's definitely dried. I'm blowing it because when super glue, if you blow it gently, it tends to dry a little bit quicker. I just realised I put these bloody drain cocks on backwards. Mong. So I'll swap them over. Right, in. Like I said, if you look at the tall post on them, you focus. If you look at the tall post, it's just bent inwards that teeny bit. So when you put it in, it makes like a friction fit. And even when it's running around at express speeds, bollocking around, it doesn't come off. It works quite well. Right, let's paint it black because I can't feel any super glue on it. Doesn't have to be perfectly black either, just keeping a little bit of the silver makes it look more metallic, so I don't really care how if this is poorly painted, as long as it's just majority painted, if you get me. That'll do. You may notice there's two black specks on the cylinder that was there before. That was actually a touch-up that I forgot to do, so I'll do that now whilst I'm thinking about it. Like I said, the cylinders themselves, they do actually, I think they were varnished, so I might have to varnish it later to blend it in. I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal. And if you go up and down, rather than left to right, you get a minute streak, which kind of simulates the muck running down, or at least the texture of it. So it'd be your best bet to do it that way, I think. Yep, okay. These wheels. Well, let's have a look at that first. Right, we've got plastic steps. And then we've got my scratch belt, which are not identical, but I think it's good enough. Needs a bit more black here. Let's do that now. Let's get that finished before I do the wheels. Yep, that'll do. I think it's good enough. What do you reckon? Let me know what you think. I'm going to probably finish the stream once I've painted these wheels. Maybe not. I'm just thinking I might do, because I set out to make it run better, and at least it seems a bit better. I'm not totally convinced, but it seems a bit better. That was the main thing I wanted to achieve. And since then I've had all these other extras, which I also wanted to do, but they weren't as important. Painting in the steps, etc. This fresh paint, that's a bit yeah. I mean, these rubbed off for exactly the same reason, just over time in handling. Ultimately, I want to put a smoke generator in Gordon, and maybe one day even sound. There's a chance one day I might even make my own chassis entirely. Again, to get that elusive, perfect running that I so desire. I mean, it's hard to get half the time. And the other reason is, of course, if I make if I make a chassis myself, I can use thinner wheels, which means there's less chance it's going to short out on the points. If you watch my other videos, you see what I mean. You probably know what I mean. Excuse me. That should do it. Right. Right, we'll check the comments 2 secs. Smoke generators are bad for plastic locos. True. I use a Soothe, or however you pronounce it, number 22 most of the time, which has a little rubber sheath in. It will still melt the chimneys because it did do on one of my older ones, but you can go around it for a lap or 3 without it burning anything. It's just if you leave it on too long, then it'll melt it. Right. I'll just make some room a second. This looks like a right bomb. Let's give it one more test. Oh, stalled. Okay. Any thoughts on the current Star Tugs trust drama? I've read the things on Twitter, but as to the truth of the matter, I don't know because I'm not a member. So I'll just keep completely neutral. I'll keep out of it. I don't know what's going on and what's not going on. I see a lot of people bitching about everything, you know? I don't know. I'll just stay neutral on it. Another reason why plastic steam locomotives are prohibited on my rails. You can't beat metal ones, let's be honest. I like a nice brass built kit's pretty good. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I've done pretty much everything I wanted to. Again, I know the running isn't perfect, but it does seem to be a bit better, and I will know in time how reliable the new setup is and how well it runs. So I'm just going to thank you for that. I'm going to take some pictures and put them on Twitter if you want to have a closer look. And thanks for coming. It's appreciated. I tend to achieve more when I'm either have an audience or I'm with a group of people doing it, like White House Films Modeller's Corner. So I'm going to leave it there. All right. Thank you very much. Once I found the off button.